Hi, this is a quick Moodle 3.5 differences overview. We just migrated from 3.1 to 3.5, and we'll be on this one for at least 3 years. The long-term service branch is supported through the spring/summer of 2021, when the next long-term service branch will be released, and I don't like to upgrade more than I have to. So I'm going to go over some of the changes here in 3.5. Obviously, there's some visual differences, but those are just the themes that are currently available. If you happen to be an elementary school teacher, the theme that you used previously was still available, so the elementary school looks the same as it did before with the campus theme, but the rest of us, none of the other themes carried over from 3.1. They may be made available subsequently in the future, in which case you'll be able to set your classes back to those same themes if they become available. So once we log into Moodle, we should see our classes, and we can see anytime we want to return to the dashboard, anytime we want to come back here, we can hit the NT sign in the top left corner. Overall, it looks basically the same as it did before, with a little bit of visual difference. Now, once I go into a class, and I'm going to go into kind of a bogus class that I had set up to kind of go over some of the buttons because it makes it load faster. Default class just has the administration and the calendar and upcoming events, and other than that, you have to add whatever you want to add. Turning editing on is really easy. It's a big button right here where I can turn editing on, and then I will be able to add blocks just like normal. I can go and add any block I want to on the side here. That pretty much has stayed exactly the same as it was before. And then I can turn editing off. And in the center, it's pretty much the same as it was before, with the ability to edit, move things, assign roles, and we move things around just like we did before. One of the things that is different now is that to add a new section, when editing is on, you'll see that down at the bottom of your page, there's an option to add topics. So when I click add topic, it says, how many do you want to add? I'm like, I'm going to add 3 more. I click add topics, and now there's 3 new topics are at the bottom. Used to be you did that through settings. You don't do it through settings anymore. You do it right here on the page, and you can also go here and delete those topics right on the page too. That's one of the few changes to the kind of the home page here of your Moodle class. As before, we can go to edit settings, and we can change the name of our course. We can put it in the description, and we can go down here to appearance and change to one of the other optional themes that are available. All the videos are going to be on the degrade theme, which is what this one's called. And then if you want to change yours to something else, you can. Just realize it's going to look a little bit different. It used to be in the course format. That's where we chose the number of sections. That's not the case anymore. There's only 2 formats anymore, and that's topics and weekly. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the settings. One of the other things that's changed is it used to say gradebook, and when you hit this, you go right into the view of the gradebook. Now we go directly into the setup of the gradebook, and when we want to view it, we have to click over here to view our gradebook. The other thing that's different is that we don't have that add-on that made the gradebook a little different. We're back to the default Moodle gradebook, and I'm going to have to go to somebody else's class to take a look at what that exactly means. I'm going to jump to anatomy and physiology. Sounds like a good idea. So when I go there to the gradebook setup, I still have all my categories and items just like I did before. That's pretty much exactly the same as it was before. But now when I view, I have the ability to collapse and expand those categories to get it down to I don't want to see all those other things. So I'm going to collapse hidden. You can see Jonathan, I think that's whose course this is, had a category called hidden. So now I'm just looking at 4th quarter, here's my formative stuff, and down here's my summative stuff, and then the final exam he's got, and then the course total down at the end. On these, one of the nice things is that as I scroll up and down, the actual assignment will stay locked to the top of the page. You can't really show that with an empty database like we've got right now, but you'll see that as we go on. One of the other things you can do is if you're looking for a specific person, you can just click their first initial or their first initial, the last name and first name, and we'll see those, and obviously we can go to groups just like we did before on the previous version. That's pretty much it for changes on that. It'll take a little bit of getting used to on the it's really not the new gradebook, it's really the old gradebook. For some people, but it's really not that big of a difference. Other than that, there's not a lot of changes in Moodle. It looks pretty much like it did before with a little bit of difference, like I said, on the theme. It loads just as fast or faster. The icon up top always takes us back to our home page, and then we can go to our individual pages after that. So that's about it for the differences training. Not a lot of change. Just a couple little things in a class that changes the way those things look, and I'm going to edit the code so that stuff goes away, so it cleans that up a little bit here in a second. And like I said, the adding of topics happens at the bottom of the course, not at the, oh, I gotta have turn editing on to see that. Not in the course settings page, which was something that I couldn't figure out for a while. I can add topics down there as opposed to where I added them before. Other than that, that's about it for differences between the old version and the new version.